was realizing, which is crazy, that we're halfway through 2022 already.
Oh.
Like, time has been super disrespectful. I don't like it. It's going so fast. So I wanted to start with like a midway check-in and see how you're doing. How are you?
Well, thank you for that, Paris. I'm doing well. I am tired. I'm a little tired right now. You're right. Like, I can't believe how quickly this year has flown by. I just finished filming my 4th season with American Ninja Warrior on NBC. The show's 14th season, which is amazing. In this day and age, that's so rare to be able to say a show's still going strong 14 seasons in. So that's the schedule's wonky. We shoot from like 6 p.m. until 6 a.m. So it's graveyard shifts, like many, many nights in a row. So I'm not sure what up from down is at this point, but it was so much fun. It'll be airing this summer on NBC. So that's great. And I'm getting ready for a vacation. I'm headed to the French Riviera in like 3 weeks.
Yes, vacay.
We are counting down. So
but you know what? You can't tell that you have that crazy schedule. You really don't look tired. You look great. But I did want to speak about American Ninja Warrior because when I found out you're going to be an added host to the show, I was like, did not see that one coming. Yeah. I mean, I know you from E! News, Access Hollywood, of course, and I just didn't see American Ninja Warrior, but I was pleasantly surprised. So what has that journey been like?
Yeah. It's been a really cool, fun, unexpected journey. Yeah, I think there probably would be a few people, maybe even myself included, that never thought of American Ninja Warrior as something that I might one day be lucky enough to be a part of. But now that I'm a part of it, even before, one of the things that I made clear to, the executive producers and the powers that be is, more than anything, I'm a storyteller. And that's first and foremost. So I don't care if you're courtside at an NBA game telling a story, you're telling the story of these men or these women. If you're in the WNBA and their journeys on the court, the story of that season. I'm always interested in the why of a thing, much more so than the what. So whether it's a sport, I used to MC for the NBA's Indiana Pacers, for the minor league baseball teams, Indianapolis Indians, for the NCAA Tourney Town, for the women's sports tournaments. And I loved it just as much as when I'm on the red carpet or I'm doing the movie junkets, because it's not exactly what they're doing, but why. Why are you telling this story if it's a movie? What made you decide? Why are you so passionate about the league or the association, if that's something that you're a part of? With American Ninja Warrior, why are they running? Who are they running for? What tragedy did they have to overcome to even make it to the start line before they try to get to a buzzer and win $1 million? And as the sideline reporter, that's what I get to do. I'm telling those stories. We have some tear jerkers. I shed a lot of tears on that course sometimes with some of these ninjas, because they go through a lot to just get there. And when you watch the show, you realize it's so much more than a sport. You really walk away feeling more motivated and inspired to face your own challenges in life. I certainly do. I am like, oh my God, I just have to shut up. No more complaining. Because see what some of these folks have gone through, and they're like, no excuses. I don't care. Some of them have been born into challenges that a lot of people wouldn't be able to overcome. But not only are they surviving, they're thriving, and they're out here, just doing the thing on the course. And it moves you. And so that is why it makes sense. And that's why it's been so much fun. And I'm just so grateful to be a part of it. So hopefully I will continue to be for a long while now.
I hope so. I mean, I really love the energy you bring to the show. It's something different, and I can tell that you are a storyteller. So I love that aspect of it as well. Sorry, I'm like eating my words. But I also love like how consistent you have been. This industry is crazy and changing so fast. You've been consistent, you've been booked and busy, but has it been a challenge for you? Like, has there been a time where you had a career scare and you're like, what am I going to do? And how did you get out of that, if that happened?
Oh, that's a really good question. I feel very blessed. I am so lucky. I know that the career that I've been able to carve out for myself is rare. And the fact that I have consistently been employed, period, let alone always full time. Like, I haven't not had a job, knock on all the wood, since right before I graduated from Ohio State. And it's always been in television. So I'm very grateful. That I can't answer that question in the sense of, the in between. Have I been afraid? Yes. I've certainly had a moment or two in my career where I worried about my job. Is this the end? Is my contract going to get picked up again? Are they going to offer me something else? Luckily, never had to cross that bridge. I will say the one thing that I did get afraid of at one point of some time ago, I'll keep it broad, is, do I want to be here? That became the question. And it got to a point where, I was thinking about my core values, who I am as a person, who my mother and father raised me to be. And this industry can change, folks. It can make you reconsider what you prioritize, be confused about who you are. And I got to a point where I was kind of like in a bit of a valley. And even though I was employed and optically everything looked good and great and people would kill to be in the position I was in, I wasn't happy. I didn't feel good, and it didn't feel good. What I was doing didn't feel good anymore. And so I got to the point where I had to decide, do I still want to do this, or am I willing to walk away from this? And that was one of the hardest decisions of my adult life. And I'm really proud that I made a decision to choose integrity, personal integrity, and what felt right to me, even though I was scared ishless. And I just was like, God's gonna have to figure it out for me because I don't know, but we're just gonna take that first step and go out on faith. And it worked out. It worked out better than I could have ever imagined. And so that's what I always encourage people to do when you're in a tough spot in your career or don't know which fork in the road to go. It really is as simple and as hard as listening to your gut and your intuition. And you do have to take that first step, even when you can't see the full staircase, because so many people stay in psychological chains or cages or prisons out of fear of what is on the other side. But I'm more afraid of dying to self, of losing myself, of selling myself short and wondering what if, than just taking the step. So what? I fall on my face. I get back up. We figure something else out.
It has been working out for you. So whatever you're doing, keep doing it.
But yeah, so far so good. So we'll take it for as long as it's happening. But it has not been without its challenges. I will say that.
Well, like at this point, I feel like it's an honor and and a privilege to say you are a veteran in this industry. You've been doing it for a long time. So I have to ask you, how are you handling the ever changing, like quickly changing too, entertainment industry? Because nowadays I feel like you have to be doing TikToks, you have to be doing reels and tweeting and like having a podcast like you do. How is it? Is it overwhelming? Are you like taking this in? Are you embracing it?
No, I'm embracing it now. I was just so fighting internally because it's just exhausting. All these things now. I'm like, good God, like the new gen. Also, I feel so old, by the way. So even saying new gen or being referred to as a vet, even though I do take it as a compliment.
Yeah.
It's so much harder because it's so oversaturated these days that like everybody and their mama with like a Wi-Fi connection and an iPhone is like, I'm a host, I'm a this, I'm a whatever. People just throw things in their Instagram bio and like suddenly that's their job. And I'm like, an Instagram bio does not a career make. Like you have to actually put in the work. But on the other side of that coin, it's never been easier. It's such a weird time because now you don't have to wait for the gatekeepers. You don't have to hope that some random executive in a suit at the top of an ivory tower chooses you, right? You can get online, create the content yourself, build your own support network or fan base, and then show up with the numbers and be like, you can pass on this, but it's going to be your loss. And executives are paying attention to that. So it's two sides of a very unique coin. I'm getting into the social media, like the TikTok of it all. I'm about to step my game up. I know I have to do it. But that's one thing where I really respect, I guess you call them the rookies, the new class, because they've only ever known this world. And I think a part of what has helped me not just survive, but thrive is my willingness to adapt and evolve and not being so stuck in an old way that I can't see the way things are moving. I've always tried to stay, if not ahead of the curve, then with it. And even if I don't get the curve or agree with the curve, I have to decide if I'm trying to stay with it. And if so, then I need to get with it quick. So I just encourage people to be flexible in their thinking and in their approach, because now more than ever, things are changing very quickly.
Well, give yourself credit though. You've been getting with it. You had a YouTube. I really do want to talk about this podcast, Zuri Hall's Hot Happy Mess, because I love it. So you've been doing the damn thing, but I loved your most recent episode, and it's about adult friendships. I felt like you were speaking to me. I have been very recently navigating adult friendships, which really does deserve a whole episode. But I love that you talked about making new friends. And it was kind of surprising to hear because as a public figure, as a celebrity, I'm like, what type of new friends are you trying to make? Do you make celebrities? Are there people in the industry?
No, not celebrities.
I'm apprehensive though about like being friends with someone who's new, who might already know who you are. Do you think maybe they're
advantage? Really great question. One, I love that you're listening to the podcast. So thank you for that. New episodes every Wednesday. Hot Happy Mess. I mean, it's interesting. Like, I'm from Ohio. Okay. It's like born and raised in Toledo. I went to the Ohio State University, Ohio through and through forever, for life. Like, so that is just who I am at my core, to go back to sort of that personal integrity and core value thing. So even though it does get trickier because sometimes you worry about people's intentions or if they're here for the right reasons, I also think that everyone is dealing with their own versions of that. It doesn't matter what you do, what industry you're in. You can be in Ohio, you can be in Indiana, you can be in Texas. You still have to deal with politics. Maybe it's corporate politics for you instead of entertainment or Hollywood politics. You still have to deal with people using you for whatever you can give them, whether it's at the local, regional, or district level, or the national level. So I'd like to think we're all dealing with that in varying ways. Am I seeking out celebrity friends? No, not really. I honestly, the thing that is most attractive to me is people who have no interest in my space or my world. I'm like, oh, welcome. You might be my because the last thing I want after a long day of work is to just be talking about more work-related things with work-related people. I have a few good friends in this industry that I protect and love, and they do the same for me. But I think it's also really important, no matter what industry you are, to create a space that you can get away to, a safe space where you can just drop that guard, drop that facade, drop whoever Zuri Hall, the public figure, has to be. So you can go be whatever you want to be, however weird or unique or loopy that is, and just not have to worry about being on. And it's hard because also people, I think, when you're in a certain industry, assume it's easier than it is to make new friends. People also assume you have 1,000 of them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, just be on my couch with my puppy. But I think we're all struggling with that in different ways.
Definitely. All right. And just last quick, or I don't know if it's quick, but last question. So what's next for you? Because you've like dabbled in so many different things, acting, everything, like really you have dabbled. So like, what is something that you haven't spoken out loud, but you would love to maybe try?
I have spoken it out, but I'd like to speak it a little bit more, and start that manifestation game. But I love acting. It was one of my first loves. I grew up in children's theater workshop. I minored in theater with an acting emphasis in college. I did UCB Improv in New York when I was at MTV and VH1 and Fuse. So I'd love to do more of that. I've played myself a few times now in scripted shows. So I'd love to start playing other characters, telling other stories, going back to that whole storyteller thing. You just get to a point in your career where you want more challenges. You just want to see what's possible. That's what makes life fun. So I'm not going anywhere. Don't get it twisted. I came and newsing it up. I'm loving being on Access Hollywood. We've got it weeknights, American Ninja Warrior. The new season's coming soon. But I wouldn't mind one more ball in the air, but that's probably because I'm overly ambitious and need to sit down. So hopefully a little more acting soon, but we'll see.
Okay, well, I would love that for you. Remember, continue to dabble. At this point, you can really do anything. So that's the good thing about this new trending, like the new wave in this entertainment industry. You can do anything. So
you're so right. Like the multi-hyphenates, it's such a thing. Yeah. Before, people just wanted to keep everyone in a box. Yeah. These days, people are like, not doing that. Absolutely not. I can do what I want to do. So I'm with you on that one. You're also very good at your job. So I just wanted to let you know that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going overtime. So that is on my time. Thank you so much. It's really been so good to talk to you. I can talk forever about your damn podcast, but we won't. Not now. Well, I love that you're listening. We need all the subscribers we can get. So please, again, Paris, it was so nice to meet you. Nice meeting you. Bye. Bye-bye.